What was the biggest reason the Lakers lost last night?
Well, Skip, for me, I get the intensity part, but I thought it was the bench. If you look at it, Skip, every Laker had at least LeBron was at 0 plus minus, but everybody else had a positive plus minus, and everybody from the bench had a negative plus minus. And then the turnovers again, Skip, they get out to this great start. They were making shots, they were stealing the ball, and then the next thing you know, they start turning it over, and then they let they let Portland back in the game. And plus, Gary Trent Jr., Skip, he's going to be a problem. Because we know, like last year, we saw in the bubble, Skip, we like, okay, is this a bubble situation where this guy is only shooting good because there's no, and that still might be the case, Skip. There's still no fans in these arenas. But he's developed a step back now. He's taking people off the dribble because before, run him off the line, make him put the ball on the floor to shoot the ball. Nah, that doesn't matter now. And then you know what Dame is, Skip. It got dollar time in the fourth quarter, and he got hot. He scored 21 of his 31 in the second half of the ball game, which he does. And so for me, I thought it was the bench. We got nothing from the bench. And that's the thing that concerns me about Kyle Kuzma, Skip. The night before, he was sensational. And then last night, what was that? Minus 23, 2 of 9, 2 of 8 from the floor. And Skip had no rebounds, no assists, 3 fouls, 6 points. And you look at their bench, they got 40, 45 points from their bench from 4 players. So for me, I get the lack of intensity and maybe legs were heavy. But also, Anthony, AD got to become more involved. Skip 4 points in the first half. He had, 14 shots? That's not nearly enough. AD and LeBron need to be vying week, game to game in and game out. Who's taking the most shots? Because he had a decided advantage. Covington was trying to guard AD. Get down on the block, AD, and they demand the ball. So, y'all, don't nobody take another mofo shot until y'all give me at least the next 6, 7 touches. Because we've seen them do that before, Skip, where they come down the court and AD shoot like 6, 7 times straight. That's what should have happened last night. So, look, give Portland credit. Portland played unbelievable. They didn't go away. They scrapped. They hung around, and they started making shots. Gary Trent Jr. and Dame Lillard got hot, and there's no answer for the Lakers. But the bench got to play better than this. You can't give these kind of barely 23 points. 23? When you got Trez averaged 18, 19 last year. Kuzma. This is Skip. This is the concern. This is why Lakers only went 3 years, $40 million. As opposed to we saw some other guys, Skip, and we looking like, well, hold on.
Oh, so you're down on Trez now.
No, not Trez. I'm talking about Kuz.
Oh, Kuz.
No, Kuz. No, I said that's why Kuz only got. We saw some other guys kept getting $20 million a year and 17 and 18. Why Kuz? The inconsistency. I'm not worried about Trez. Trez will be just fine.
I thought they were trying to make a big new deal with Kuzma.
They got it. They gave 3 years, $30 million.
That's what I'm saying. That
ain't no big new deal.
Yeah.
Considering that some of these other guys, did you see what Bogdan got? He's getting 5 for 80. You see Jason Tatum deal? You see Brandon Ingram? You see the kid in Utah?
I'll tell you what I see. Your team is not as good as it was last year.
I disagree.
The league gave you an opening gift, a welcome back gift. You had to come back early. They gave you 4 home games to start. And you went 2-2 in those home games. You got out-rebounded last night by the Portland Trail Blazers.
That was surprising to me also, Skip.
45-41, because you don't have Dwight Howard, you don't have JaVale. And you got shot out of the gym in the fourth quarter by a guy, Gary Trent Jr., who, by the way, in Portland's opener at home, played a grand total, including overtime, of 6 minutes. He lost his starting job to Derrick Jones Jr.
It's something about playing against the Lakers. Because remember what he did in the Lakers in the bubble?
He was on fire in the bubble, especially against the Lakers.
Yes.
So I was surprised that he fell that far out of favor that quickly, but he just didn't play much. And he didn't play all that much last night because he doesn't start. And so he came in and played a grand total of, well, even in the fourth quarter, he only played 4 minutes.
But he did some damage.
He did some damage. He did all the damage in the fourth quarter, but he played a grand total of 24 minutes and scored 28 points. That'll work.
Yeah, 10 of 14 and 7-11 on 3.
So I'm wondering, could Danny Green have guarded him a little better? Could Avery Bradley have guarded him a little better? Yes, they could have. So you lost 2 of the better perimeter. Like Danny Green's got length at 6'6". He can defend length.
But Skip, Wes Matthews is a good defender. But I don't know what it is. If you notice, Jay Crowder, when he was in Cleveland with LeBron, he couldn't make a three. He goes to Miami. You watch him in Phoenix. He can't miss a three. I don't know. Maybe it's the expectations of playing alongside Bron. Now, Wes Matthews can't throw it in the ocean, Skip, when he was making threes all last year for the Mavericks.
So your man, Anthony Davis, that you picked to be the MVP of this league this year.
He out to a slow start.
In the fourth quarter, he made one field goal and didn't get to the free throw line and scored 2 points. Does that work?
No.
He got one rebound in the fourth quarter. Does that work?
Nope.
Nope, it does not work. So we're back to the issue that you had last year, and you got away with it because it didn't confront you enough. That is, who is the closer for this team? Because I don't see a closer.
Steph, stop.
I'm sorry. I don't see a closer.
You know what LeBron is. Come on.
Oh,
now.
really? Okay. So last night, LeBron had lots of chances to get them back in this game. And if we could see the two shots that he took with 2:45 left and then 53.7 left, he took threes to cut it to 4 and then to 3. And that was way short. And then he tried another big 3 that was long. So, LeBrick. And those were two huge shots where, on your home court. I know there aren't any fans, but you could have gotten your team back in the game. You got to close.
So in the fourth quarter, if my math is correctly, the Lakers scored 22 points. LeBron had 13 of those 22. The rest of the team scored 9 on 31% shooting.
Speaking of 9, look at your plus-minus for the fourth quarter. Who was -9, the worst of any Laker who played in the fourth quarter? It was LeBron James.
Skip, he's the only one that played the entire fourth quarter.
-9.
But what was his overall plus-minus? He had 0. So, look, here's the thing, Skip. We count on Anthony Davis. We got a 1-2 combo. It can't be one. That was the difference in the ball game. CJ had a tough night shooting the basketball, so Gary Trent Jr. came along with Dame.
Yep.
So that's what happens. If LeBron is off, AD and somebody else got to carry the load. If AD is off, it's LeBron and someone else. LeBron didn't have that someone else to come along with him last night. But we got something for your Spurs on Wednesday night. How about that?
Right.
Put a do on that.
Well, we got them back to back.
No. We got y'all like 3 times in like a week.
Okay. I'm putting no due on that.
No.
Spurs, they don't.
What you mean?
Last time I looked, Manu and Parker and Ginobili, and Duncan are not playing anymore. Right?
Well, last I checked,
maybe they'll come back for the Lakers.
Last I checked, Magic, Kareem, rest your soul, Kobe, and Shaq aren't playing anymore either. So come on, straight up, do. No. One, 2 leader.
I'm already 6 cases up on you for the season, just for the basketball season. So I'm off to a hot start. I'm not going to do that.
Well, first
I'll do on. We'll win one of those games. Will you do that?
Yeah.
You want to do a sweep?
Yep.
You'll do a case.
We're sweeping, yeah.
Thank you.
Well, so I'm taking the 6 from the 50 cases that you owe me for Lakers winning the title, so I'm down to 44.
You owe me $1 billion, $1 billion, $1 billion, and I didn't collect it yet.
But I paid you off in due. I paid you last year. I gave you 72 cases of due. 72 six-packs, my bad.
All right, we're starting fresh just for this NBA.
Okay, so let's start fresh right now. So all this.
I'm up 6 since the start of this season. I'm sorry. I'm just up 6. Okay, so in the end, you realize your Lakers, with the lead going to the fourth quarter, had won 59 straight games.
Yeah, I do.
Well, that's not a good look because you were up 1 going to the fourth, so you weren't up 10, but you were up 1.
It didn't matter.
By the way, you were almost up 3, except for one play that happened late in the third quarter. Derrick Jones Jr. on your man LeBron. If we could see this play.
Man, go ahead,
I just want to see this play because this is a little bit of a chase. It's like a mini chase down. Get that, out of here, LeBron.
Well, we got him earlier, Skip.
That's
we got
a
him
chase
earlier.
down. That's a lane chase down. That's a LeBron on LeBron, right?
Trey's got to hold that screen. Long.
Oh, well, he didn't.
That's all
Derrick
right.
Jones Jr., by the way, people have probably forgotten, but you realize he is the reigning slam dunk contest champ.
No, Gordon should have won that. He is, but Gordon should have won.
Well, he
but
won
that's okay. But we got him early. You remember we got him early in the game, Skip.
Jones Jr. He played for the Heat, and they said enough of him. So Portland has now put him in their starting lineup, which is shocking to me.
Well, he's more of a defensive guy.
I guess so. And he did guard LeBron a lot, especially in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, but you see what we did to him in the first quarter. You see what we did to him in the game. Skip, I thought LeBron did what he normally does. LeBron came out, established himself and said, okay, I can get whatever I want whenever I want it. Okay, AD, Schroeder. I thought Schroeder played well, Skip. I think Dennis Schroeder is playing. He might be playing better than they thought.
How many shots did he take last night?
16.
And how many did AD take?
14.
Aha.
Yeah.
Aha. We have somebody who is out shooting the guy that you want to be MVP.
I thought AD. AD must demand the basketball. He must demand it. Skip, I thought what happened earlier is that AD had a couple of shots, Skip, that rimmed in and out. And then he got a couple of he thought he got fouled and they didn't get called, and he got frustrated. So he started to mope, he started to pout, and then he wasn't hustling back on defense. That's to be expected. Look, he's like, hold on, bro. I'm a champion now. I'm an all-NBA player. I need to get those calls. The calls that LeBron and James Harden and the other great players get, I should get those calls now. And he didn't get them. He got frustrated, but that's all right. San Antonio will pay for that on LaMarcus Aldridge going to play for this on Wednesday.
Okay. So the Glacier that you signed to play in the post for you, Marc Gasol, what is he, 48 now? Or he's somewhere up there.
Sometimes he moved like he's 48.
Like he's 48. So he started last night, and he played 19 and a half minutes, and he gave you 7 rebounds and 4 points. But you played Montrez a whole lot of minutes. You see this? You played him 27 minutes and 16 seconds. And he's about 6'6". And guess who kept just abusing him in the post? Cantor came in and just went crazy. Look what Cantor's the offense. Cantor, he ain't going to play no defense, but he offensive force now. And guess what? Enes Kanter had 14 rebounds.
Yes.
4 more than anybody on your team, because AD did have 10 rebounds for only 13.
You got to put a body on Kanter.
Okay.
Because a lot of times he'll back tap the ball out of there, and that's what happened last night. Even Nurkic, they had a chance to get the ball, and Nurkic ended up back tapping it out.
Why did the Clippers say no to Montrezl Harrell? Because against Denver, they found that he was a liability because he couldn't even sniff playing Nurkic, who had a huge game last night. I mean Jokic. I'm sorry. Yeah, Jokic, who.
They had Nurkic and Jokic.
They had them both together. But last night, Jokic had 18 assists, and he had a triple-double.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
Okay, but again, Harrell could not even begin to play him. Couldn't even slow him down. And it looked like last night, to me, that Montrez couldn't even slow down Enes Kanter coming off the bench.
Well, the biggest thing with Kanter, Skip, is that he's crafty around the basket. He's going to do a lot of up and unders, and he'll drop step on you and get to the basket. You just got to keep a body on him because he's a very active. He's the equivalent of Trez on the defensive end.
And by the way, speaking of Nurkic, he added 12 rebounds. So those two guys had 14 and 12. There's no Dwight. There's no JaVale. I think you're a little.
They are. And I'm surprised because, Skip, the only true big they have on the roster is Gasol. And the problem that they're going to run into, Skip, if he ever gets in foul trouble, is that now you're going to end up having to play Trez major minutes, or you're going to have to play Keith Morris, maybe at the 5. Are you really trying to play one of those guys against Jokic, against Nurkic? DeAndre Ayton. That's not kind of how you.
Who do I trust in your roster to be the best rebounder night in and night out?
LeBron.
Seriously.
LeBron.
Seriously. At 6'9".
Yeah.
He is the most dependable rebounder.
Yeah.
AD had 10 last night, as I said, but LeBron had 9.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's going to have to play big inside and try to lead the league in assists.
I don't know if he's going to lead the league in assists this year, Skip, because from what you've seen Schroeder's had the ball in his hands an awful lot. I was surprised because they started out the first game, they went back to LeBron having the ball in his hand. Last 2 games, LeBron has had the ball, but this game, they let Schroeder have it. So I don't know if LeBron is going to have the assist total that he had in any of the years. He might be down around 6 or 7.
So as you lost the fourth quarter at home, 31-22, who did you also miss the most to me? Your third best player last year, Rajon Rondo, not there last night because he had played in Atlanta as the backup to Trae Young. And guess what? He had 12 and 8 assists for Atlanta.
But you see Ice Trae. You see Ice Trae. Ice Trae.
I don't really care about Ice Trae. I do wish Rondo were a Clipper, but he's not a Laker either. So you missed him last night because he would have done damage in the fourth quarter. He would have been thorn in Portland's side in the fourth quarter because he was in the bubble. Every fourth quarter, He disrupted. He
And
ignited.
and Caruso was out too.
Yeah.
We missed Caruso.
You got a COVID issue with Caruso.
But don't worry about it, Skip. We're only 4 games in.
Yeah, but remember, they have a COVID issue with Melo. They didn't even have Carmelo last night.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.